Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today, going to be a Patreon match between Maru and Reynor from DreamHack Valencia. Here on Inside Out, an ESL map, bottom left, going to be Reynor, and at the top right, going to be Maru. You know these guys, that's why you clicked on this replay. Alright, so Inside Out, a snow map-ish? Is there any snow on this map? I feel like this is snow. Yeah, it's a snow map, which I really do enjoy, with a burning structure, two burning structures in the middle of it. This kind of reminds me of Hardwire, with these super far out expansions that are hard to take and hard to scout and hard to attack. So I feel like this is gonna be a macro game because the map demands it. 16, 18, 17 for Raynor. We've got a 1-Rex expand going here from Maru. Can't wait until somebody comes up with a new build order for this matchup that is 0.001% better than the ones these guys are using. Blue trees, suitable for the snow climate. Blue flowers, again, adjusted to the climate here. Oh, Reaper canceled. Going into a reactor. Huh. Why'd you change your mind, Maru? That is weird, man. That is super weird. Alright, so expansion coming down. Raynor's expansion coming up. Spawning pool almost done. And Overlord scouting. Don't get burned, Terry. Don't get burned, Terry the Overlord. Yes, I know you know how safe it is. I know you know safe distance above fire you can go without getting burned. I'm sorry for doubting you. SCV Scout, just checking to make sure it's not a pool first play, because if it was, you would be in a lot of trouble. So you gambled and you won, Maru. Factory going up at Maru's main base. No proxies anywhere here today. And yeah, I'm Falcon Paladin, here 5 times a weekish with StarCraft 2 content. Hope you're enjoying it. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe. Again, this is a Patreon cast. Those of you who support me at patreon.com/FalconPaladin for at least $1 a month is watching this. You know, you're probably watching this the week of, what is this, July, like July the 15th or so. So if you are, thanks. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching this today. Go ahead and pat yourself on the back. I really do appreciate the support you're giving me. If you're watching this in August, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe. If you want to see more content from me, this helps the algorithm know that I'm here. Comments do that too. So if you don't want to support me monetarily, which I get, I totally understand. There are a lot of content creators that I support and others that I don't, and there's reasons for that. So if you don't want to support me monetarily, hit that like button. I do try to do that in every YouTube video that I watch. And leave a comment if there's something you want to leave a comment about. If you don't, that's fine too. I mean, leaving a comment that's just like, I like turtles, is fine, I guess. It's not going to hurt anything. Now people are going to leave comments about turtles. So some slow ling harass here from Raynor. Okay, sure. He's like, there's not a Reaper, so... Oh, okay, well, didn't really accomplish a whole lot there with those lings, but whatever. Did anything die? No, 3 lings went down and an Overlord is dead, so 0% death on Maru. He's playing a perfect game so far. Hellions, Marines passing in the night. Marines don't want to move out here. Hellions do, but there's a bunch of Queens and Select. Okay. Creep Tumor maybe getting sniped. He wanted it. Got it down to 11 HP. Couldn't quite kill it there. Got a ramp here. Got some rocks you can knock down here to open up this bridge to make it a little bit wider. This is actually... It's a pretty good tank setup point here. Throw it into tank there. Moving your Marines around the corner. That's tough. Raynor's going to have to watch out for that. He's getting a Spore to deal with potential Liberator harass. Potential Banshee harass here. There's a Liberator on the way, which is perfect. Is he Widow? Okay, we're bringing some Widow Mines along. So Widow Mine, Hellion can turn into Hellbats. There are only 2 Hellions out, with 2 more on the way, I guess. And a handful of Marines. So, oh, this might actually just be an attack on one side while Widow Mine drops into the main. Intriguing. Oh, but losing these Hellions sucks. Okay, alright. Alright. Wow, 4 HP on that Hellion. Alright, so Widow Mine comes cruising in. Spore Crawler getting hits off on that medevac. Widow Mine does not fire. This Widow Mine burrows. Yeah, pretty decent hit there. Okay, so perma-cloaked on the Widow Mines because there's an armory. Man, armories are providing a lot of good value here, actually. The armory, rather. So yeah, 3 drones go down. Nothing too crazy. All the Widow Mines are going to die. The medevac manages to get out of there, which is real nice. Actually, did he get out? No, he didn't get out. Where is this other Widow Mine? Oh, there's one here. Okay, I like that. 2 kills already. And gonna reburrow the sport. Not great split there from Raynor. 6 split there from Raynor. And then this Widow Mine, which is gonna get a hit on a queen, but not enough to kill a queen. And then try to burrow, but can it? No, cannot burrow before it dies. Totally sucks. There we go. There's a Hellbat Marine attack coming along. Down the right side, Banelings against Hellbats, bonus versus light, which Hellbats and Hellions are, so Banelings really useful here. Queen's just kind of the answer to all of this, though. Queens, especially before the Marines have many upgrades, just going to do excellent in that situation. Upgrades at this point are nothing. So Maru's got completely unupgraded Marines here. Queens are going to do very well against them. Creep spread, push in, got a spore at the front here, just in case more Widow Mines arrive along the way. We've got ourselves additional barracks coming in. More and more barracks. A factory landed down with a tech lab, so going to be some Marine tank pressure here from Maru coming into the later stages of the game. Creep spread looking okay for Raynor. He's been defending a lot, so creep spread's not going to be as good. Just because Maru's been active on the edges here, right? He's been killing tumors. He's killed 4 of them already, which in the early stages of the game is just really good. Really fantastic stuff. Not going to argue with you on that one at all. All right, coming along the left side is our guy, Maru. Queen's pulling back a little bit. Got some Banelings. Centrifugal Hook's not anywhere near done because the lair's not even done yet. Oh, 2 Hellbats die. That's not good. 2 Hellbats clumped together kind of for the price of 1 there. Not ideal at all. Lair gonna finish. Centrifugal Hooks has really got to be a priority here from Raynor. Yeah, if you watched any of the Valencia, I did watch a bunch. Well, I watched the entire Grand Final. I was not going to tell you who was in that there, but man, there were a lot of times, there were some mistakes made. There was a lot of fatigue. They've been playing for 12 hours at that point, and man, StarCraft, it is such a good game. All right, so Spire coming up. Maybe Corruptorling Muta, maybe, or Corruptorling Muta. Corruptorling Bane, maybe Mutaling Bane. Potential there as well. Ling's heading down that right side. Coming the left side. Once again, Maru poking up this ramp. He's like, you know what? I like coming up ramps into Zerg-controlled territory. Slow Banes, slow Lings, and the queen count is just nice. This is not happening in this game for Maru at all. Now, Maru is known as a late game monster, right? So once he gets into the late game, he starts building 100 million different command centers, orbital commands, planetaries, right? Upgrading all of them, making them in just perfect positions where they need to go. So here we go. Stim's done, and that really makes these queens a lot more afraid of these Marines. Also, they can run away from Banelings more effectively. Centrifugal Hooks. This is really important that it finishes here for Raynor soon, but I'm not sure. Is he going to be able to save this? The tank positioning is sick from Maru. He's not going to be able to save the base at all, and Maru, sick timing. However, Ling run by. Oh, but the lift of the ramp, and Raynor didn't get the Lings inside the house. What? No, that's such a problem for Raynor. This was open. He could have gotten. Oh, she could have prevented that from lifting. He could have killed it. He's going to do some damage here at the third base instead, but the Marines firing at the back while the Lings are fighting with the SCVs at the front. Centrifugal Hooks is done. Going to try to bust this out, and yeah, for sure. That's a pick up and a evacuate for sure. That's enough Banelings for that. Also, how did Lings get into the main? Oh, we dropped them, and some drop our Lings into the main base too. Chaos, abject chaos in this game. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4th base dead here from Reynor. I guess it's the 3rd. He's getting a 5th base in the bottom right to try to compensate for it. It is 81 to 68 workers. Again, Raynor is one of those players, perhaps the best player at being able to take a ton of economic damage and then make it seem like, yeah, nothing really happened, right? He loses 12 drones. He's still at 80 workers. He's got a 5th base coming up. He's replacing the 3rd, and everything's fine. Raynor's just able to weather these kind of storms better than almost anyone. So it is Mutas from Raynor. And look, Raynor did not used to be on my list of players that I trust to make Mutalisks against elite Terran players. But you know what? I think he's on there now. He has found his niche with Mutas. It's not Serral style, where you keep all of your Mutalisks alive and babysit them and take very good care of them, like a loving Zerg daddy. But instead he plays Rogue style, wherein, oh, we're going to talk about that in a second. Baneling split against the splitting Marines. Not bad. Does manage to save the 5th base, at least temporarily, and pulling back to the tank. Nope. Baneling's not interested in engaging there. That Marine will die. Ah, Baneling wasted on a single Marine. Not the greatest trade there, but hey, it's okay. This is a long game. It's Rogue style, wherein you make 1 million Mutalisks and you lose about 500,000 Mutalisks or 250,000 Mutalisks, but then you get enough damage to win anyway because your macro's insane. You're always making Mutalisks to replace the ones that are dead. Okay, Maru takes down the 5th base. That's huge. He takes down the 5th base and the 3rd base in the first 10 minutes of this game. Mutas are trying to find damage on the other side of the map. They're killing smaller groups of Marines. Okay, this is bad, though. This is pretty bad, actually. Dude, okay. All right. He's already lost 6 Mutalisks. What I'm talking about. He's got 9. He's lost 6 of them. He's making more of them. He's getting +2/+2 for the Lings and the Banes. The 3rd base is up. The 5th base is getting replanted. The Mutas are trying to keep Maru at home as much as he certainly can. He's just trying to find... This is a small enough group of Mutas where you kind of have to babysit them now. This is more Cero style. But he's just pumping more and more Mutalisks all the time. And you got to be careful when you're rallying them across the map to the rest of this group. Because if you fly them over a group of Marines or a couple Widow Mines, bad stuff happens to you. Your Mutalisks will all die, and you will lose the game. Because it's a huge investment. You can't just afford to lose that. Lings are like, how many Marines are there exactly? A lot, it turns out. Many, many, many. So maybe attack them with the Mutas. This is a straight throwback to Brood War days, man. We do not see this a lot in current StarCraft 2, where you go attack a group of Marines like that with Lings and Mutas. That is something we see a bunch in Brood War. StarCraft 2, not as common of a sight. It's kind of nice to see something that worked back in 1998 still being used today in 2022. Pretty decent little combo there. Not the standard, though. Not really the most effective way, not the preferred way to handle a group of Marines is with the Lings and Mutas. You want some Banelings in there. Banelings are just really the answer. Burrow coming in, +3/+3 on the way for Maru 6 stuff. His 4th base is rolling. He's got Marines, Marauders, he's got Thors, Drilling Claws, Widow Mines, and Thors are going to be a big part of this anti-Mutalisk strategy. High timing for Reynor at about 11:50, 12 minutes, we'll say, rounding up. The Lings and the Banes are at +2/+2, which is great. They can't get 3/3 until the Hive is done. Right side, Mutalisks marching up into the main base maybe, but turrets are already on the way. It's like, well, I know eventually these Mutas are going to show up. So why don't I just have some anti-air there? I could afford it. I've got a ton of income right now. I have 70 workers. Sure, Raynor's got more money, absolutely, positively. So here's the tricky thing about this matchup today, is that traditionally, Zerg gets really hard to kill in the late game. But Maru's late game is so good, it doesn't even matter. We've seen Maru win so many late game games against Zerg. The advantage that Zerg is supposed to have in the late game just kind of vanishes. A lot of Terran wins come in the first 7 to 9 to 10 minutes of the game. If the Zerg player can survive past that point, not lose too much of their economy, and there's 91 workers from Raynor, so like he's cool. If the Zerg can survive to that point, then suddenly they become an unstoppable force of creep, spread, and harass and surrounds out in the open. He has no overseers with this army, or this Mutalisk flock, which is weird for a Zerg player to do it that way. Ghost Academy coming in. Sniping Mutas is not a terrible idea. And that Thor is ready to absorb all the Baneling hits. He's right in the front. These queens are just getting donated. That's not exactly ideal. That queen actually hoofs it away. Man, queen's on creep so fast. Mutas are like, all right, well, if you're going to be over there with your army, let's wipe out this 12 o'clock base and just try to delay you as you push down the middle. Maybe force your army to come home. SCVs on the massacre. No, run! Let the Thors get some hits on him. Muta's flying back around, a little bit trapped. Raynor's going to lose a couple Mutalisks here, but he does kill 9 SCVs, which isn't game-ending by any stretch. He does kill missile turrets that need to be replaced here at the 12 o'clock, and that's exactly what happens. Maru backed into an absolute corner. Adrenal glands on the way. Massively important upgrade. You all know how Falcon feels about adrenal glands. If you don't, well, you may be new to the channel. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you here. I've been casting StarCraft 2 since, well, let's say 2015. It's been about 7 years now since I've been casting StarCraft 2. It's always been a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. Glad you're here. But yeah, maybe waiting for Adrenal before really engaging here. Even though it's 2-2, even if you don't have 3-3 yet, if you have Adrenal, your Lings are little gods. Little gods of DPS. Their damage output is insane. It's an Ultralisk Cavern too. The Ghosts are going to be amazing against those big boys. Now he's got the Overseer, so he can swipe and snipe the Widow Mines. Look, Raynor's got the left side base for a 6th here. The bottom right is back happy and running. there's really not a ton of places to expand here. Not nearly as many bases as like 2,000 atmospheres or Hardwire on this map. So this makes it a little bit more dicey. Maru likes having about 100 bases, and if he doesn't have access to 100 bases, he gets a little bit grumpier. Widowmine, great split there. 6 split. Banelings are like, well, I mean, if we can't kill everything, let's kill the missile turrets and a ton of Marines. Whoa, Raynor! Raider's suddenly up about 50 supply. Snipe being used on them Mutalisks. Thor chasing away the Overseers. Yeah, so like Sensor Tower died. So Maru's a little bit more blind. The Mutas are just, they're getting sniped is what they're doing. How many Mutas have died in this game? A lot. Let's say 23. Like I said, it's rogue style. You're going to lose almost all of your Mutalisks, but you're going to get enough damage done with them to where you just win. You keep the Terran player on the back foot so much, you just win. And I think that may be what we're seeing here. It's not over by any stretch. Right, and going into Ultralisks against a player like Maru, who is as skilled with ghosts as he is, this is gonna... Okay, well, that third base lifts. A lot more SCVs are dying, but Terrans can afford to lose a bunch of SCVs at this stage of the game and not necessarily regret it forever. Are we just... Okay. That was not a good use of Banelings there. I think it killed a single ghost for like 10 Banes. Not ideal, Raynor. But once again, he's got a ginormous bank. His income advantage has been pretty clear for the last 10 minutes. His creep spread is pushing up on Maru's little central defense area here at the 12 o'clock. Top left base, it is a planetary now, and it's going to die because these are 3/3 Adrenalings and there's no repairing happening. You don't even have to use Banelings on this to kill it. Unless Hellbats can save it. No, they can't. They can't get there in time. They're too slow. So planetary dead. Big attack into the third again. Raynor's everywhere. He's everywhere. That Thor is dead because Lings are chomping on it. Nom, 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 nom. Banelings trying to crash cloak ghosts. They can hide from Baneling detonations, kind of. If they're standing in the general area of a Baneling splash, they're going to catch some of that acid in their faces, and it's not going to be good at all. Raynor taking this base is huge. Massive that he's taking this base. Because this is Maru's. The top left is actually Maru's as well, but Maru has no bank. Raynor's at 2,000 minerals and 1,100 gas. He can't exactly remax on Ultras if he loses all of this, but he's up high enough. He's up 199 to 142 supply that he's going to do some good stuff. Yeah, I mean, the army here for Maru is exactly 13 Ghosts, 3 Marauders, 2 Tanks, 6 Hellbats, a couple Thors, and a couple Widowmines. It's not nothing, but it's just not enough of a big... chunky Terran army that can just kind of stand and take this. He's running. His ghosts are fast enough to not really die. Banelings don't do bonus damage to ghosts because they're not light units, they're psionic. But they don't have a ton of HP either. So the splash damage of the ghost is going to do work. This might just be our GG, ladies and gents. We're looking at a dead third base for Maru. Maru is traditionally known for kind of standing in a little bit longer than other Terrans would. Baneling sneak attack with the burrow! Doesn't work as well. Man, ghosts are just fast. They're a little faster than you expect them to be when you're chasing them down. Snipe. That's your GG. Raynor does come out on top there in 18 minutes and 12 seconds. An absolutely killer, impressive game there from the young Raynor. He's 18. He might be 19 by now, actually. Been watching Raynor and Clem grow up here on this channel. But wow, what a game from Raynor. He loses 2 hatcheries and 12 drones in the first 10 minutes. He loses 3 more for the rest of the game. No more hatcheries. And just dominates the rest of the way. He had 80 drones after 10 minutes. He's just magic. 36,000 resources lost for Raynor, including an Ultralisk and 29 Mutalisks. This was like Rogue style to the extreme. This was Rogue being like, or Raynor being like Rogue, except Rogue doesn't care at all about his mutas. That was nuts. But 81 SCVs down. I know Terrans can absorb a lot of SCV devs, but not that many. Not at this stage of the game. Not when the Zerg player has the entire map and extra bases and is sitting on 90 workers himself. Not going to happen. Ghosts were the answers for the Ultras. Yeah, so somehow, some way, of the 5 Ultras that were produced, only one of them died, which is crazy to me. The little, that little early attack from Raynor 2, when he was attacking up, where was he? He was here, he was here, he was also here a little bit with the mutas. And then there was a Ling drop in the main base with just 6 Lings, just killing more SCVs, causing more havoc and more confusion up that way. Just really did a good job throwing Maru off his game, just throwing Maru from being the aggressor and the harasser to making Maru being the defender. And that's how how StarCraft works. If you're defending for the last 5 minutes of the game, it's really hard for you to be the one who wins that game. I know it's simplistic, but it's the truth. Is the truth. So, fantastic game from Reynor. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. Taking down Maru, who's looking like the best Terran player on Earth right now. He's always had that ceiling of being the best Terran player on Earth. He just kind of falls apart every once in a while, but you know, now he's a monster. He's a monster here in 2022, the summer of 2022. Okay, good. That is going to be it for me today. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void and a Patreon cast. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.